Good morning, mighty nation. Good morning. Wake up, those mighty muscles. Pound your chest because today is a good day. We're gonna make some. Thank you guys for joining. Go ahead and below. Today is a good day. Comment below. I'm a champion. Comment below. You're crazy. You are effing crazy. All right. Listen, you have to have a mindset that is indestructible in business. Indestructible. Have another energy drink. The guys on YouTube are always the ones that give me the crazy comments. So guys, welcome. Welcome. Connection is unstable. Connection is good. Connection is great. Okay, great. So today we're going to dive into very specifically something that most first-year entrepreneurs fail at. I mean, the statistics are pretty clear. Most businesses fail in their first year. And if you want to count the ones who do succeed, most of the ones who do succeed past the first year, and I mean most is like 1 in 10, right? That actually make it past the first year. In the first 5 years, only 1 in 100 of those 1 out of 5s actually continue past 5 years. So why is that? Why are the number, it's like 1.7 or something like that out of, it's such a low number. It's almost nothing. So how is it that companies fail so often? How is this? Why does this happen? So we're going to dive into it today. We're going to dive into what you should use to manage your business on the finance side. So I'm going to get logged into some stuff here today. You guys, if you have questions, comment them below. The whole idea of the show going live is to actually answer your questions live. So yesterday I did a Q&A specifically, just Q&A, and I mentioned a couple of challenges. One of the challenges was to post inside of the Facebook group, the Mighty Process Servers Facebook group, post a picture of your screenshot of your latest review. The person who gives me the greatest review that I just am blown away by, that it's so good for Google, it's so good for your brand, is going to win $100. We're giving away the $100 next Friday. I believe it's the 17th. Or the 18th. Let me see. I think it's the 18th. Let me see. It's actually the 17th, Friday the 17th, 90-day live. Yes, we're going live right now. Calm down. So win $100 for posting the best review, best client review in Mighty Process Server, the Mighty Process Server group. Okay. That's it right there. Let me actually make this a scrolling one. Who thinks it would be valuable for me to show you guys how to use StreamYard? Does anybody want to go live for their clients? So winner is going to be announced Friday. Let me put that in here too. That way I could use it every time. Winner announced Friday 17th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There you go. So guys, yeah, so what we're going to talk about today is moving forward, how we're going to save some money. I'm the type of person who loves software. You guys know that. I've talked about it a lot. I love software. I love getting into it, seeing how it can save me money, stuff like that. It's just so powerful, so important for you to have it set up so that you can actually manage your stuff properly. So, you guys know that I love Follow Up Boss. It's something that I've been promoting, telling you guys about. I'm not giving you any links or anything like that. I just want you to be able to communicate with your clients and be able to manage your servers, manage your statuses, and do everything inside of one platform that has a great app. Could you do your proofs on your own? Absolutely. Figure out a way to do your proofs. We talked about, I shared in the resources at mightymeetup.com. If you guys are not a part of mightymeetup.com, you should probably go check it out. It's a free social media platform that I've created where I can put all my resources, where YouTube and Facebook and these guys aren't going to shut me down, right? Let me lower my desk a little, right? Because a lot of them have different copyright policies and different things that just keep you from showing, addresses of certain people. That it really makes no difference, but YouTube will shut it down sometimes. So that's that. All right. So lots of different things I'm exiting out of here. Let me do a quick screen share. So let me share my screen. I'm gonna present some stuff today. So let me get rid of all this. Let's see here. Present screen. We're going to get into this today. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to teach you guys what to do. Okay, so we're gonna get into this. This right here is my calendar. I use an AI tool that allows me to schedule people and double book things that aren't as important that are important. And I recently had tons of things booked over this live call. Like right now, I'm missing a coaching program I paid $25,000 to be a part of. That's like a 3-hour cold call coaching program. I'm here. So it's not, I'm not selling you guys anything, but just know that my time is very valuable. I could be doing 100 other things, but I'm here with you because I want to teach you guys. I want to see you succeed. All right. If you're new to the challenge, I don't know who's watching. I see a bunch of people watching. So if you're new to the challenge, I'll just tell you that we have already gotten a lot done. Today is day 22 out of 90. After I do this 90-day challenge, I'm not going live anymore for process servers. I'm going to put all of the videos into my vault inside of mightymeetup.com. And if anyone ever asks me how can I make $10,000 a month? I'm going to say, go watch the videos in the vault. So it's super important that as you guys come in here and as you participate, you ask questions that you think others would want to know. Maybe you've already learned it, but there's other people that are going to come after you that maybe want to learn things. So don't be afraid to ask questions all the time. Yeah, no worries, Jennifer. No worries. Can't wait to catch the replay this evening. Y'all rock. Keep it mighty. Awesome. Appreciate that, Jennifer. Yeah, these people who come on regularly and try to be a part of everything that's going on, they're going to find success because it's only a matter of time if you put in the effort over and over and over. So anyway, there's a free tool. I have the paid version, but there's a free version. It's called Reclaim. And it's so cool. It uses AI to move certain tasks around. I just wanted to show you this because my calendar is back to back and I'm making the time to be here with you. I'm double booking myself each and every single day. All right. I hope you guys are finding value. If you're not, that's why I almost stopped doing this last week. And a few of you guys were like, please don't stop. And that's because, and that's because I got other things I could be doing to make me lots of money. What's up, Chris? How's it going? So there's a bunch of different platforms. What I want to show you guys today, we're actually going to sign up for a new platform. So I like doing it this way to really just show you guys exactly what you need to do. So there's different platforms, but what I want to show you is the best account for teach man to fish, right? That's what we're doing. No, I don't need the AI boost on it on Google. Okay, calm down. So there's a couple right away that I already know about. Obviously, QuickBooks Online is one of my favorites. I have it for 2 different companies, but it's one of the best ones. Okay, so let's click on it and let's sign up for a new account. So what you're going to do is you're going to go, let's go ahead and look at pricing really. Let me make the screen bigger so you guys can see this better. There we go. Chris. Okay, so you may already have this. And so I'm going to blow through this pretty quickly, but if you see, you're able to actually, I can't think of a better. I know Xero's okay. There's another one called Xero that's okay. But QuickBooks, it was bought by Intuit. And Intuit is a huge platform, a huge company. It has multiple different products. Leverage this in all different areas of your company. Now, why is this important? This is not just important for tracking your bookkeeping and taxes and things like that. And I'm going to get into this right now. So let's see how much we're talking about here. Simple start, $15 a month. Okay, come on, guys. Like, we can do this. I'll probably do this one. Choose a plan, $45. Why? I don't even know yet. I just know that it's a customer favorite. And I'm sure there's some stuff in here. Connect all sales funnels, 5 users. But anyway, for the sake of this video, we're going to start with this one. So you're essentially signing up. No, we do not want payroll. See, this is where people end up getting mixed up. We just hit continue without payroll in time. We don't need it to do everything for us. We just need a simple account to manage our books and much more, by the way. Let's try to log into my other accounts. So we're going to put here my new company email, abqserver.com. Let me think here. You can actually, I have a tool that will help me. I'll just put in one that I know really well. Okay, we're creating an account. So I'm going to put my phone number and one more step. It's going to have me probably verify my phone. Yeah, so it's sending me a phone verification, which is pretty cool because the phone verification is like nobody's ever going to be able to like steal your account, right? Because it's always going to send you a thing. So Continue. And so what's cool about QuickBooks is you can actually, when I first started my company, I managed all of my books through QuickBooks. What's up, Pete? How's it going, man? Pete the Gentile. All right. So if you check this out, let me stop this banner. People get distracted here. If you check this out, you're actually able to, it's going to want me to put card information in. Let me stop sharing. Just going to do this really quick and I'll tell you guys a story. So one time when I first started using, this stuff, I found out that people manage their books like this. People use QuickBooks, they'll use different things. And the people who don't oftentimes are the ones who end up owing a crazy amount in taxes. And I know because that was me, right? Like every single time I would get a paycheck, I go deposit it. And then every single time a client, especially attorneys, would send me tons of work, they would end up doing a 1099 and they would send it to the government telling on me. IRS, Mike made $8,000 from us last year. Or IRS, Mike made 30 grand from us last year. And imagine if 100 different companies are doing that. And if you make more than $500 from one company, they're going to report you to the IRS. And what happens is, and that's standard. The IRS wants everyone to do that. If you're paying other process servers, you need to manage how much you're paying them. If you're paying them a certain amount of money, you need to have a 1099. And big companies know this. When you start getting volume, you have to do this. Now, here's the reason. You can get fined for not producing 1099s. If somebody says, yeah, I made XYZ money from him, and they report it and they file their taxes like they're supposed to, then they're basically telling on you that you didn't do your part of it. That's pretty much it. So it's going to have me answer a bunch of questions. So let me go over here. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so what do you call your business? The legal business name. So I'm gonna give you guys a little secret. The legal business name. And I'm not an attorney. I'm not a tax advisor. Okay, this is just for entertainment purposes only. I am showing you what I have done. Okay, but my process serving company is also a property solutions agency. APS, Albuquerque Process Servers, is legally, that's a DBA, but legally the company, the bank account, all the things is a real estate organization. Now, the reason why is because as a professional real estate person, I get special tax benefits that other people don't get. I'm talking about tens of thousands of dollars in tax breaks. Is it illegal? I don't know. I don't think so. Talk to your accountant or your lawyer or whoever, right? But I know that if I'm legitimately buying houses and I'm legitimately doing real estate business, and this is just a part of that, it's a solution for evictions and whatnot, then it's all on the up and up. It's all legit. Okay. The goal here with managing your finances is to make sure you're not paying too much in taxes and to keep more of what you make. How have you been managing your finances? Come on. This is like a poll. Spreadsheets. Why not? So this is your main source of income. No. How do you request payments? We are going to take payments online. Let's see here. Share links by email, text, and social. This is actually how we're going to receive a lot of payments from attorneys. Here we go. Okay, how long has it been in business? We're going to say 1 to 2 years. We just opened it, right? Because we don't want them to try to send us to an advisor or something stupid. What kind of business is this? Is an LLC? Yes. I did put LLC there, but it's okay. We're going to end up being an S Corp. And by the way, don't do C Corp. Somebody posted in the group the other day they did C Corp and their filings keep getting rejected. You could be a sole proprietor, but this usually means that you're just operating under your own name. I don't know why anybody would do a partnership. Nonprofit, no. So, I mean, pretty much the only one that makes sense is an S Corp. You get the pass-through tax benefits. What's your industry? We're going to say real estate. And I advise, I don't advise you. I don't advise you at all. Let's see here. Real estate credit? That's weird. Real estate. They want you to fall into a bucket. We don't want to do real estate agent. Let's see here. Offices of real estate agents or brokers? No. Leasers of real estate property. Other activities related to real estate. Thank you. Good grief. Okay. Super powerful if you do this properly. What's your main role at Albuquerque? I'm the owner. Let's go. A lot of this, you guys, is just like a poll for them. I wish I could skip it. Who works at this business? Business of one, me. None of your business. Does a bookkeeper help with your books? No. I don't need to send emails to somebody to log into my account. We can take the books off your plate. No. You could do that. You could look into that. I'm not interested in that though. What apps do you use for your business? I use Stripe. So there's a bunch of apps, which is pretty cool that you can add the apps right here. Like I could do, let's see here. I'm going to receive payments. Actually, I don't have to do any of this. I'm curious though if Follow Up Boss would show up here. Probably not. Follow Up Boss was just purchased by Zillow, so they might start showing up here. We'll skip down. What do you want to do with QuickBooks? Want to track receipts, expenses, accept payments. We're going to click accept payments because that's specifically why we're setting this up right now. Send and track invoices. Yes, that too. Create estimates and quotes. No. Manage inventory, track sales. That's pretty much it. We want to send invoices and get them paid. Schedule a free call. No thanks. Skip for now. Start getting paid with invoices. Give your invoice template a personal touch. Yes, exactly what we want to do. So we're going to set up our invoice, personalize your invoice template. Our brand is orange. So we're going to click on orange. It's a little darker orange, but that's okay. Upload your logo. Okay, we're going to put our logo on here. And the cool thing about doing it like this is because when I send invoices for real estate or whatever, I could do it all underneath this one platform, APS. Right? Ooh, I like the way that looks. I wish the button was a little more orange. I could probably do, let me see if I have color picker. In one of my browsers, I have color picker, which is pretty cool. It'll actually let you hover over a color and it'll tell you the color code, but I don't have it on here. It's okay. We could also make the button like black or something, you know. Actually, I think I'm going to keep it black, keep it clean. Okay, there you go. Albuquerque Property Solutions. It does spell out Albuquerque Property Solutions. So what I'm doing that right now while I set up the account and the bank account and everything, because it'll go over really easily to the proper bank account. And then later I can come in here and change this in QuickBooks. It'll still deposit it to the proper account, but it'll just say APS right here. APS LLC is what it'll say, which is pretty cool. Email yourself a sample invoice. Okay, send. I mean, I can see it right there, so I don't know why I need to do that, but let's see. Let's see what it looks like. Very cool. So here we are. So it comes from QuickBooks, invoice from Albuquerque Property Solutions. Boom. There you go. They can click on it, open it up. And what I'm looking for that I don't see yet is the payment, make a payment. So I probably have to add, I probably have to add a link. Let's put that back over there for now. Leave that over there for now. So I want to add a link. So let's see what you have to do, because you want to get paid online for this. The problem with doing it this way, you'd rather accept orders online up front, right? But what happens when an attorney has you go to multiple addresses? You have to put them in here. So there's a couple things I'm going to tell you where I really messed up that I want to show you. See how payment works with $5 on us. Set up payments. This is probably the link I was talking about. Let's see. Set up online payments. $5 is waiting. $5 is waiting in QuickBooks. About your business. We'll use this info to verify your business. Yeah, industry review. Save and continue. Okay, I don't think this is what I wanted. I'll have to check it out later. I'll have to go get in there more, but I think they're trying to like set up some type of online bank account with QuickBooks. You don't want to do that. See your payments anywhere. Next, let's make it easy to sell all your income and expenses. Link your accounts. So then you're going to click right here and it's going to use Plaid or something like that. Let's see what it's going to use. Let's see. It's going to tell you which type of bank account you have. You click on the bank account, and then it's going to use probably Plaid, I would say, or one of those types of things to connect directly. Start by connecting your Chase account and make it. Okay. Yeah. So you hit continue. It's going to try to log into Chase, and it's okay. It's super secure. Like QuickBooks is like one of the most trusted payment platforms online. So I'm going to stop sharing just so I can connect my bank accounts really quick. Oh, actually the account for this is not Chase. Actually, it's it's a community bank. Let me see here. Cyndia area credit union. There it is. That's the one. Cool, it works. So it wants me to put my username and password. So it's not using Plaid. Some platforms will use Plaid, which like try to use your browser's information to log into your account, and you can just say yes, and it's like so easy. So let me go send the area. I think I've only logged in on my phone actually. That's probably why. But anyways, so this is a little bit some boring stuff, you guys. But the idea here is that you're going to set up your QuickBooks account, and I am going to finish this because I want to show you on QuickBooks, if you're familiar, you're actually able to create an invoice. You know what I'll do? I'm going to show you guys what the invoice it sent me. Let me just show you, and then I'll finish setting this up. So what happens is, let me share this again. What happens is you can send an invoice and track your jobs right here. So what I always did was I would have my invoice come from QuickBooks. It would have the customer's information. It would have the invoice number and how much they owe you. But then right here, you would actually have, I did three things. I did order number, and I would track my order numbers. And then I would have a space dash space. I would have the person's name that I was serving, space dash space, the address. And that was one line item, and then how much they were paying for that person. And that was just a template. It would automatically create that information, but I would just have to copy and then type in the person's name and information and hit send. The other thing too is when you create these invoices, you're able to, inside of QuickBooks, you're actually able to save another attachment. So the other attachment inside of QuickBooks would always be my proof of service or my field sheet. A lot of times I'd have my field sheet, my proof of service, and my invoice. And QuickBooks is great about reminding people to pay their invoice. Pete recommends, I think he's talking about QuickBooks. Yeah, it's really good. It's really, 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 really good. So I'm just giving you some ninja tips when it comes to the actual setting this up. So one thing to be aware of, if you receive checks and you go to the bank and you deposit them, okay, that is a deposit into the account. What happens is that you'll take that check, you'll go in and create a payment in QuickBooks, and then if you go deposit the check after, and then you tell QuickBooks, hey, pull all the transactions from the bank account, and then you let's say $100, right? You got this one check and it was $100, so you put it in the system to make sure you're accounting for it, and then you go down to the bank and deposit it. If you're not careful, and I feel like an idiot saying it out loud now makes me feel like such an idiot, but for at least 2 years, I would do it. So we never caught on to it. Nancy was her name, and she was a sweetheart. She did a great job for me, but she would go down and deposit these checks. She would account for the check. In QuickBooks. I thought she knew what she was doing. I'm not going to blame it on her. It's my job to know this stuff. But then I would take the check down and deposit it. And then at the end of the month, we would do a quarterly review. We'd pull the amount, and it would double. We were tracking it twice. So when the accountant finally found it, the accountant said, as a forensic accountant I had to hire, and they found that it was overstated income, because my income on QuickBooks made it look like I made $600,000 in 1 year. It was like 580 or something like that, which it wasn't. It was more like 300 something. So, so when we filed taxes, I filed overstated income of like 500 something. And so they said I owed like $55,000 right away. And I was like, what the hell? So when you're using the books, you have to understand your income versus your expenses. It sounds simple, but when you get in there, you have to really, there's a form called a Schedule C form. And I'm just telling you guys what I learned and learned the hard way. And so you don't have to learn the hard way. I want you to look up a Schedule C form. Okay. This is a federal, let me just look it up right now, actually. Schedule C. The QuickBooks is easy enough for you to figure out, as you can tell. Schedule C form. But a Schedule C form is the very basics of what the categories for what you need to be aware of when you're filing your taxes: profit and loss from business. It says sole proprietor, but don't worry about that. That's whatever your designation is, the government is going to want to look at it. So as you're creating your QuickBooks, what I want you to do is I want you to think about this like an accountant. Okay.
Think about it like an accountant. Don't overthink it. Well, I'm not an accountant. I'm bad with numbers, blah, blah, blah. Don't think about it like that. Think about it like, how do I put things in certain buckets where it makes the most sense? Advertising. What makes the most sense for advertising? Well, I have to pay for anything that's like you're paying an advertiser, but anything that, like, let's say I want to go buy business cards. It could fall into multiple different things. So you have to decide which one you'd want it to fall into. But what's really cool is you can actually see the instruction page, which we have to look that up. That's a different page apparently. Schedule C instruction form. But the point I wanted to mention to you, and this is what the accountant told me back in the day when he was fixing everything for me, is he was like, if you can make sure that you don't get too creative and create, because that's what people do in QuickBooks, is they'll go create 5 different types of accounts for this and for that and all, this, that, and the other. No, just look at what's already there, what the IRS has already designated as allowable expenses, right? Car and truck expenses. See instructions, right? I'm sure they don't allow you to write off everything. So see what you can write off and make a list of it. Why? Because that's cash money you get to keep and not have to pay Uncle Sam. Commissions and fees. Who are you paying? Do you have a salesperson that you're paying commissions to, right? Or different fees that you have to pay because of XYZ to grow your company? This is a write-off. So if you had a salesperson that you're paying $50 per client they bring in, well, then you just add that up. And QuickBooks is going to add it up for you. Just to be clear, there's a spot inside of QuickBooks that says it's your schedule of accounts or it's like your schedule of accounts is what I think it's called. But essentially, it's a list of the different items that you would claim for expenses. Also, income. So don't get confused about it because it will throw your income in there as well. There's different spots for profit, right here. Gross receipts from sales, right? And your returns or allowances. There's different things, cost of goods sold. So there's different things you can have in here. But the biggest thing is basically everything's going to be sales. Hey, Don, no worries. Welcome. We're diving in here. We opened up a QuickBooks account, which I have to go add my bank account and stuff. But now we're just talking about like how to set up your QuickBooks. So you're getting it at a good time. So essentially on your QuickBooks, most of all this is already going to be already set up for you. And if there's something on there that isn't on here, delete it. Just delete the account. Do not have anything. Do not get creative. Do not get like outside of the box where it's like, well, what about this? Like, no. You're going to track your mileage. They're going to either give you a write-off for mileage or they're going to let you show receipts for how much you spent in travel, right? Actual fuel for travel. Okay, so you can do either or. So I recommend doing both and then see which one gives you the biggest return. There's certain apps. There's an app called Mile IQ, and then QuickBooks has its own app. Okay, Mile IQ automatic mileage tracker. I used this for a long time. Once I got everything figured out, squared away, I started tracking my mile. And what it does is it lets you swipe, kind of like Tinder. It'll let you swipe left if it's a business expense and swipe right if it's a personal miles. And it'll start to tack on all the miles for you. So Mile IQ, it's a great app. Now QuickBooks has one that I used a couple times, but Mile IQ, this is what it's specifically designed for, is to track your mileage. And guys, we're talking a lot of write-offs that you get from using Mile IQ. I love Mile IQ. Good. Good. Everybody likes Mile IQ. Good. I'm glad. You could always just use PST with all that built in. Yeah, the problem with there are some benefits to that, especially if it tracks mileage. I didn't know it tracked mileage. Definitely something to look into. I don't know who that person is, Facebook user, but smiley face and whatnot. But yeah, definitely Mile IQ is a great app. Perfect. So this schedule of accounts, for example, if you had a business office, okay, here's your insurance. Other than health, this would be your errors and omissions insurance, your liability insurance or casualty insurance, some kind of insurance that you have protecting you when you're out there serving, going on a property, right? If you have employees, of course, that's a huge expense and that's a huge deduction. You get to deduct. So when people say like, oh, I don't want to pay all this money for employees, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? If you have cash flow and you're getting enough money coming in, start hiring people that are actually going to make you money, right? So hire an office person who loves to sell. All the stuff I've been teaching you guys about reaching out to property managers and attorneys, they don't just sit there and answer the phone. They're out there calling, getting you people. So you hire them for minimum wage, which is a complete write-off, by the way, complete write-off. And then let me see, I'm trying to see it here. Rent or lease. Yeah, that's obviously your office space if you're renting it. Let me see here. I'm trying to find out where it's at on here. This one looks a little bit different. Is this? Yeah, 2023. It looks a little bit different though. I think it's missing some. They might have changed it a little bit. But commissions and fees. So the $50 that you're paying them for commissions to sell stuff for you, that's a write-off, right? And so now you have this super happy employee who's like bringing you more business, who's making a crap ton of money by giving you new clients, and they're free. They're essentially zero sum. They're free. You can afford them. Why? Because they're building your business for you, but they're also helping you grow your company, and they're completely free because all this extra income that you're making from the new clients that you have, you don't have to pay to the government. It's money you don't have to pay to the government. Contract labor is what I kind of sneakily do. There's instructions. There's very specific ways where you can use this, and you can't. For me, I use them outside of the country, so they're not, I don't have, they have different rules for how they're tracked, but it's the same thing. Contract labor, boom, right here. You don't want to put somebody who's not an employee under the employee monies, right? Let's see here. Legal and professional services. Go hire a lawyer by the hour to look at your contract. Any contracts you have created that were not created by one of these software companies, go down like a proof of service, your affidavit, go down and spend, $200-$300 to a lawyer and ask them, hey, is this okay? Also, is my structure, my LLC or whatever, okay, right? They love getting paid by the hour. For a couple $100, think about it. For an hour or 2 hours, you could sit there and ask them every question in the book, and get an idea of what you're okay with, what you can do, what you can't do. Some of them will even do it for free. But anyway, the point is the government's going to pay for that for you. Okay. Same thing with advertising. If you see there's a type of advertising that's going to give you a big return, like Google search, $7 a click, and you're actually getting, it takes a little while to get going, but once you've dialed in your right keywords and stuff, the government will pay for that. What do you mean the government will pay for that? When you do business in America, okay, when you do business in the United States of America, you have to pay the IRS. It's a part of doing business here. So it was never your money. The money that you made, let's say $100,000, that $30,000 or $40,000 that you need to pay in taxes was never yours. It was just never yours. So what it is they're saying, you keep that money you spent on advertising. Good job. Keep growing your company because we want more tax money. Good job hiring that employee who's selling for you, because we want you to grow your company so you can pay more in taxes. We'll give you that off of your tax bill, that $30,000 or $40,000 that you'd spend, right? Now, what's crazy is you get into this even more and you start to see the Donald Trump effect. Depreciation, 179 expense deduction, not included in Part 3. So there's other expenses down here too. And I'm not an accountant. Again, I'm not a lawyer either, but this is just my experience. There's a guy that I know. I never did this for my process serving company, but I knew a guy who I think is Accurate or something like that up in Northern California. He actually bought the whole building where the attorney's offices were, and he's opened his process serving company inside of that same building where all the attorneys were. They were all paying him rent. And then what he did was there's a certain amount of depreciation. Now, I don't want to geek out on you too much, but essentially what it is it allows you to do a cost segregate. Well, even without a cost segregation, you can have a certain percentage. It's sometimes around 7% per year of the value of the property can be depreciated. So if the property is worth, $600,000-$700,000, that tends to be quite a bit every year that you're actually able to just say, hey, by the way, these are all my expenses. Plus I own this real estate. And so here's, $40,000 that I don't have to pay because of the depreciation. What is depreciation? Well, the government is like, you own this building and time has gone by. So the molding's falling apart, eventually going to wear and tear. They basically pay for wear and tear. The government's basically saying, hold back the amount it's going to take you to maintain this building that you own, to do the business that you're doing, that we want to grow, so you can pay us more in taxes, right? That's depreciation. Now, a really ninja tactic is actually when you start making a lot of money, to actually do what's called a cost segregation study, and the government allows you to depreciate like 37 years of that 7% per year depreciation, which can be something. I mean, it can be hundreds of thousands of dollars. So if you're get a huge tax bill one year and you're like, crap, we're gonna have to pay. We've been doing pretty good with our expenses, but now we're gonna have to pay 100,000 or 200,000. You go do a cost segregation study for that depreciation, and then save yourself having to pay that year pretty much anything. And this is why a lot of real estate guys will go and purchase more real estate every year, and they're just pushing that tax liability down the road, because they keep doing the depreciation on these big assets that they have. The problem is because you did a cost segregation study, you don't get to do the depreciation the next year or the following years, because you essentially told the government, I want all my depreciation up front. And they're okay with that. But then next year, now you're going to have to pay. You don't get to count that depreciation. So then you got to go out and buy more real estate to get more depreciation, and just keep pushing that down the road and forever. That's why people just keep buying real estate, they do a 1031 exchange, and they don't have to pay taxes, and they just keep putting it in new properties. And that's how they build their wealth. And regardless of the tax liability, you can show the bank how much the property or your business makes, and they'll give you a loan or a line of credit up to 70% LTV. The loan to value is the ratio. They'll give you that amount of money as a loan. So if your business ends up being worth, $600,000, $700,000 per year that it's earning, you could potentially get a line of credit for like, $400,000. So now you're making this $600,000, you're just socking it away or investing in real estate while you're making this cash flow. And then you turn around and you use the loan that you got at an interest rate that is just really good, right? And you just keep going, just do it over and over and over again. I mentioned Xero, but honestly, it's hard to beat QuickBooks. It really is. QuickBooks is like, because they've been bought by Intuit and they've been around forever. There's an online, so the online platform is okay. It's great for sending the invoices, which is why we want it, and for tracking our expenses. But there's a downloadable version of QuickBooks that is much more robust, that you can add your mileage and stuff within each invoice. QuickBooks Online is more for like, you create an invoice and you can attach a proof and stuff to it, but there's not a whole lot else you can do inside that invoice, whereas the downloadable version allows you to do a lot more. So that's kind of the deal. So the Schedule C form will keep you good to go. Meal deductions, again, see the instruction page. We could go into it a lot more, but again, I'm not an accountant. I'm not trying to go crazy here with this. I just want you to know that you can't sleep on this. Yes, you got a new client. Great. Good job. You're going to be making money. But now, how are you going to make sure you keep that money? How are you going to make sure that you're not screwed over? You can't blame the accountant. You can't blame the government. You can't blame your client for sending you too much money. You can only blame yourself if you don't take care of this part of what you're doing, period. So this is a conversation about, QuickBooks and taxes. And I wanted to get more into QuickBooks, but of course it wants me to do a whole bunch more setup. And it's really easy. Connecting your bank account. Also, don't connect all your accounts. Just connect the account that you're going to be doing your income and expense in. You should have one operating account in the LLC, and then have a savings account where honestly it's a tax savings account. And the tax savings account is money you don't touch. It's not yours. It's not your money. You can't use it for ads. You can't use it for anything. It's not yours. And then every quarter, which means every few months, you're going to send a check with a little piece of paper that your bookkeeper or your accountant can give you I'm in no way telling you to do your own books, by the way, by showing you this Schedule C form. I'm showing you the Schedule C form so you can figure in your mind, is this a deductible expense? Also, keeping your receipts. QuickBooks has a really cool way of allowing you to take a picture of the receipt and saving it to the transaction line item in your account, which is everything. If you get audited, you can essentially give the IRS access to this QuickBooks account. You go, yeah, all my receipts are in there. Go ahead, go look. And getting audited is one of the scariest things for businesses usually. But if you're doing what I'm telling you, which is what I do now, you don't have to be afraid. You can just be like, hey, check it out. Like, do you track your mileage or do you claim expenses for the fuel? I do both. Oh, but you can only write off one. I know, but I do both because I don't know which one's going to give me the best return. It's just business 101, right? So I'm tracking my mileage with Mile IQ or the QuickBooks. There's one version of QuickBooks. I think it's a QuickBooks self-employed one, which I wasn't super happy with. They were trying to get super fancy where it's like you're a sole proprietor. And I kind of like some of the features of it, but I wanted to still be able to send invoices as a business, and it didn't let you do that, which I thought was really sucked. But this it's just the way it is. It's exactly the reason why I don't want to use PST or Serve Manager, because they'll have some features that you like, but they aren't listening to the customer and fixing all the things that you don't like. Like, I know I think I can tell you 100 things about both softwares that I really like, but the things that I don't like are easy fixes. Why not fix them? And when I've asked them and I've given them opportunities to fix them, they just go, yeah. So, because not enough people comment or say anything about it. So they're like, man, we'll just do our own thing. And so to me, as somebody who is trying to help other process servers in the industry, I don't want to steer you the wrong way. I don't want to steer you down a path where you're signing up for a software that doesn't serve all of your needs. Okay. I'd rather you piece together things that are going to help you 100% of your needs. QuickBooks will do your books for you. It will collect your money for you. It will do all that. Follow Up Boss will allow you to sell and build your business and follow up with your clients and keep track of your servers. And I'm going to be going into that in great detail for those of you guys that are looking to actually go all in with QuickBooks. Again, with your proofs, using PST or Serve Manager obviously is the best way to go to do your proofs, especially if they already have your proofs in there. But in my experience with the New Mexico proofs, they didn't have them and they weren't willing to create them. So, I should say Serve Manager wasn't willing to create it. PST, they had a proof that was okay, that was decent for New Mexico that I could use. But again, there's other things about it, like I can't do my online ordering the way that I want to do it, and it's just not good for me. So you got to make those decisions yourself. I'm not trying to push you either which way. If you have a software that's working great for you, go ahead. So when it comes to your books, you want to make sure that you have a process. Oh, I love this. Yeah. So Xero is definitely one that you could check out. It's $15 a month, which is the same amount as QuickBooks we saw just a second ago. It does all that QuickBooks does. It was recommended to me by a bookkeeper who said they are a great company. I've enjoyed them so far. About 6 months ago, made the switch. Interesting. I'm curious, how come you made the switch? What was it that QuickBooks wasn't working with QuickBooks? And I in no way am promoting QuickBooks. I mean, I guess I am in a way. I'm just promoting using something, right? What made you make the switch? I'm curious. Here, did I miss somebody? Oh, I don't think I saw this one. Great info for somebody starting out. Wish I had a mentor for this tip. Get it done right in the beginning. Save money. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, it's so important. If you do not set this up, you will regret it. I promise you. Yes. QuickBooks was really confusing. Okay. Yeah, I mean, some things definitely, I guess, could be confusing about it. But yeah, you definitely want to figure out what works for you. Pete says you can order the extended package with PST to create your own forms for any of the states that you have. Yeah, the problem is that the automating the forms to actually put it on my website, right? They have a form that you can do that actually will allow you to have multiple multiple serves on one a form, which would intrigued me. But yeah, your software really needs to work for you specifically. If it does, great. I had a convo with a bookkeeper about alternatives. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Zero is the number one alternative, I would say. Introduction for a sole proprietor. I walked in at the end of that conversation. Yeah. So sole proprietor is just your work. You're doing business under your own deal. And yeah, $15 is the one. It says starter. It's a starter platform, but you could do it with an LLC or anything too. That's what I'm going to do on here. I'm pretty sure I'm going to upgrade because I want to do automation. I want to be able to tie it to other things. All right. So I have another appointment, you guys. I know normally go for about 2 hours, but this is pretty basic. It's boring. It's not the most exciting thing, but it really is important. If you don't have this stuff set up, you don't have a business, period. Like you could go out and create a lemonade stand that makes you $500 in a weekend and make some cash and put it underneath your mattress and you'll probably be fine. But when you go work for attorneys and you're getting 100, 300, 500, 1,000, once you get over $500, like it's a requirement. It's not an option. They have to send a 1099. And this is why eventually what I started doing, which I guess I'm going to have to do now, is when you first hire somebody, you tell them, I'm going to send you the serve, but I need to send you a 1099. Now, some servers are like, well, just send me the serve. I'm not doing it. But it's like, if you're a business owner, you understand that you have to be able to do a 1099. And there's a lot of law firms that will be the first question they have. I'm curious, have any of you guys experienced that where the law firm was like, I'm going to send you some work, but I need to send you a 1099. I've had quite a few do that, actually. Some of them who would send me work for a long time, and then they would call me out of the blue and be like, oh, by the way, can I send you a 1099? We're trying to do our taxes. And this is the time of year that they'll start doing that. She's very affordable, and she's a certified QuickBooks Pro. Yeah, great. It's a new client. I send it to them, and with their invoice, yes, all the time. So you get 1099 requests, Chris? I usually get a 1099 request when I send my invoice. Interesting. Send your invoice. They're like, we'll pay you, but we need a 1099. Exactly, right? It's a normal thing. And the reason why is because when they do their taxes, they're supposed to submit all their 1099s to their accountant along with their Schedule C form and different things like that. So when you start doing business and you get into it, you want to have this stuff in order, period. Because I'm not the type of person that likes this kind of stuff. I'm bored out of my mind right now. That's why I'm going to get off of here, right? But I can't stress enough how important it is. And the fear of getting a $55,000, tax bill when you've been paying, $5,000 every quarter and still telling you that you owe 50 grand because A, you overstated your income, and because B, you didn't understand which expenses were qualified and which ones did and which ones didn't. Make it a game. Make it a game. My last comment on this thing here. Make it a game for you to go where it says see instructions. I mean, if there was a million things here and you had to become an accountant to understand this, I would say don't do it. But there's not a million things, right? Like there's only a few things here. I think the guy told me there was like 12, but it looks like a little bit more than that. Wherever it says see instructions, look it up and know the exceptions to the rule, right? For your business. It's 2023, so this is legit. This form is legit. So go look up the, what is it called? Schedule C form instructions. Look up the Schedule C form instructions in the chat there. There you go. Oh, it only posted on Facebook. Interesting. Anyways, Schedule C form instructions, 1040. Look up the instructions, okay, and figure out, well, what kind of depreciations actually count? See instructions, see? What kind of employee benefits? It keeps saying other than line 19 because it's pension and profit sharing plans, right? It's different. Office expenses. What kind of office? What about like my mortgage? If I have one office, right? Like I have a home office. If I use my home office, I have to measure the square footage compared to the total square footage of the house. And that percentage is the percentage of the money from my mortgage that I can deduct. See what I'm saying? You have to look at the instructions and be very precise about this. But once you understand, you take the time, you take a few hours, figure this out, and then go see an accountant and ask the questions that you're not sure about to really dial it in. Well, you're probably going to have to do that one time. And then every year you can get a little bit of an update, but now you know, and you're actually a business owner. You're not just somebody going around selling lemonade. You actually have a real company that you are going to file taxes, and you have your expenses, you have your profit. I mean, we focus on profit 99.9% of the time, but I'm saying just take the time out, figure out what the proper expenses are, and you'll thank me later. Okay. Comment below, Mike, you're a freaking genius. No, really, I need the support. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here, but I think that's really the gold I wanted to give you. It's going to save you so much time, so much money, so much grief, and the comfort and security of knowing, like, when you go home that you worked hard for your money and you're going to get to keep more of it is why you're doing this, right? If you make $10,000 a month, but this is the last thing I'll say about taxes. If you file your taxes late, they charge you a fine for each month that you didn't pay your tax. Each month you get a fine, and then you get a fine. Even if you file an extension, by the way, you can file an extension to October that you'll have a new deadline. So instead of in April, you can file an extension to October, and it's like April 15th. If you file an extension, you can pay your taxes by October, file your taxes and pay by October. If for some reason your taxes are higher than you can afford, well, then you can set up a payment arrangement with them, and that's okay. That's actually good. Okay. But the smart thing to do is to actually pay quarterly. So because you're actually taxed a certain amount of money, but each month that goes by that you didn't pay is interest. Like, it's almost like a bank. Like, you're taking a loan. And this is why I say to have that separate savings account for taxes, so that each quarter, which comes by pretty quickly when you're not thinking about it, 3 months go by, 3 months go by, and 3 months go by, and 3 months go by, right? Like, every quarter, your accountant will give you a sheet. And I think QuickBooks will do it for you as well, or Zero. I'm sure they all do it. It's like, hey, here's how much we made, what our profit and loss. Ideally, you did what I said today, and you go through the Schedule C form and you figure out all the expenses and those little C special instructions, and you use everything possible so that your tax bill is as low as possible, if not nothing, right? And then eventually you may have to spend some money to not pay as much in tax, and it will actually make things end up being free for you. And there's all these different rules, and you cannot expect, this is one thing I thought, you cannot expect your accountant to do this for you. I thought, you know what, I'm going to interview these accountants. I just haven't been able to find a good accountant. That's my problem. No, I was my problem. I didn't take the time to learn this stuff. You don't have to be an accountant. You just have to look at the Schedule C form, go see the special instructions, and figure out what qualifies, what doesn't qualify. How do I do this? How do I do that? Sometimes I need to save receipts. Sometimes I need to take a picture with people I'm going out to dinner with, and I'm going to claim it as a deduction. I'm going to save the receipt, but I'm also going to take a picture always. And social media will be my proof that I was out to dinner and I had a business lunch, and I paid for the bill, and here it is. Like, the IRS will, if they audit you, they will look at this stuff. So you don't got to go crazy about it, but you got to be methodical about it and do things like a business owner does. Okay. And what's cool about this is, however well you do it now while the money's low, that's exactly how you're going to do it when the money's big. And when the savings right now is only, let's just say you saved, $1,000 now. Well, if you did it properly and you saved 1,000, well, you're going to be saving hundreds of thousands of dollars when your business is big. Okay. Because you're going to understand it from the ground floor. And if you can find an accountant that understands real estate, it's going to make you really happy. Now, I could give you a couple referrals for accountants, but it doesn't make any sense, because you want somebody local. You want somebody, this is my opinion, you want somebody you can go knock down their door and be like, bro, where's my quarterlies? Where's Jane? Who's Julie? Who do I talk to about my quarterlies? Actually, when I bought my Suburban, I was looking at cars in different areas, and people were telling me this, telling me that. And I said, you know what? I just need somebody local, because something went wrong with my car. I just drove my car over there and was like, They screwed the license plate into the front, and they literally drilled a screw through the front on my brand new Suburban. Just screwed their stupid plate cover on the front that says, Gallus Chevrolet or whatever, and they cracked it. They cracked the plate, that the little surface plate that they put on there, but they also drilled it in crooked. They just did a terrible job, and they cracked their own plate holder, and it looked terrible. And so if I bought that and had it shipped from across the country, there's nothing I could do. But because I bought it from the dealer directly, I got in it, drove over there, and was like, I need a new bumper. Like, you drilled and screwed up my bumper. I don't need a front license plate, and I certainly don't need to have Gallus Chevrolet on the front of my truck. And there's nothing they could say over the phone to be a smartass and hang up on me. I'm right here in front of them, and they got, oh, I'm not sure, this is something. And then I needed it. There was when I bought it, the key was already dead, and the battery was already dead in the key, the remote start key. And so I said, oh yeah, and the battery's bad. I'm like, oh yeah, you guys, you can replace that. They sell them at any store. I said, yeah, or you can replace it. I just bought this thing. Right. So like, I don't like to be a jerk, but when you spend $100,000 on a vehicle, it had better run properly. Even if you spent 20 grand on a vehicle, people should be customer service. And nowadays people are keyboard warriors. You guys see them online, and it's just, it's a thing. It's a thing. And so anytime I can, especially with accountants, I want them to be local, because when they don't return your call, I'm going to teach them. Right. Like when I was in high school, I got F's all the time, man. I just did not do well in high school. It was all about the ladies, football, and I had a Suburban back then as well. It was big lifted orange Suburban with big old super swampers on it. And anyway, but when I got to college and I was serious about school, if I ever got a B, I was in that teacher's office hours the next day. Hey, yeah, I saw I got a B on this. Just want to see what's going on with that. And they'd be like, oh, I don't know. Let me take a look. And then I'll look at it. Oh yeah, it looks like you missed this or that. And I'll look at them like, if I really did miss something, I was okay with that. I would want to learn from it. Right? I was a nursing major at the time, and I would want to learn, what were those questions? What was the right answer? Oh, okay. But I want to say about 9 times out of 10, and I'm not exaggerating, about 9 times out of 10, it was just them being lazy and didn't really, or they have an answer key or something like that. And I was like, well, let's look at that. Technically, isn't it true that, XYZ, whatever? And they'd be like, I guess it is. All right, I'll give it to you. And you know what's funny? I actually had a teacher one time tell me, Mike, you got 100%. He just started telling me, Mike, you got 100% in front of the whole class. And because I showed about 7 times during a semester, and I taught him, you have to teach people how to treat you. You have to teach people how to treat you. This is a life lesson, but especially in business, if you don't teach them how to treat you, they're gonna treat you however the hell they want to treat you, right? And so this teacher got tired of seeing me in his office hours, and every time he saw me, pretty much every time, he was the one that did something wrong. He was the one that didn't look close enough, or his answer key was flawed because he gave a multiple choice thing, and technically there was a whole loophole where technically I was right, in that instance, or I could make a case for why I was right. And I wasn't trying to be right. I wanted to know the truth, right? So that's the key there. But it was funny to watch after that. And here's the crazy part is, like, I never ever got anything docked from me after that. And I believe it was because I have to believe it was because because what are the chances of me never getting any of them wrong after that? I mean, it was another 4 months in class. What are the chances of me never getting anything else wrong? Very low, statistically, very low. But yet here, I never ever got any. I guarantee he put my test aside, whatever exam or whatever it was aside, did everybody else's, and then took a special look at mine and was like, he's only missed one. I'll just give it to him. I guarantee that happened. I don't know for sure, of course, but I can guarantee that happened, because statistically, what are the chances of me never getting any? He would always be like, you got 100%, Mike. Basically, don't come to my office, please. Don't come to my office hours, please. Right? So you have to teach people how to treat you. It's the same thing with accountants. If they don't pick up the phone, you're at their front door knocking on it. And the cool thing about private investigators, or in our case, process servers, we know where you live. We're not going to stalk you, but we'll show up at your house if we have to. There was an attorney who owed me money one time, and he was a nice guy. We were kind of like friends. We actually played racquetball once together. And he owed me for a long time. And then all of a sudden he just fell off the map, stopped answering his phone, stopped texting me back. So I skipped trace him, found his address, showed up at his house, knocked on the door, and his wife answered. And I was like, yeah, I'm looking for Brandon. And she's like, oh, he's not here right now. I was like, well, I've been trying to get a hold of him. I was kind of worried, he just hasn't responded. Is he okay? No, he's fine. He's like, okay, here, can you give him my business card? Tell him I stopped by. I got a call from him that day saying, Mike, what were you doing at my house? Like entitled, like, well, how dare you come to my house? This guy I played racquetball with. How dare you come to my house? This is kind of how he acted. And I was like, well, actually, I went by there because I was worried, bro. I've texted you. I've called you. It's been quite a few times, and I haven't heard anything from you. And your voicemails are full. How can I leave you a voicemail when you don't, and if I did, you probably wouldn't call me back. Am I right? And he goes, yeah. And is it because you owe me money? You call it duck a duck. Is it because you owe me money? He's like, oh, no, man. No, it's not that. I just been busy with this, busy with that. Hey, no worries, man. Listen. By the way, your wife was really sweet. She was really nice. She did a good job. She didn't even invite me in. She didn't even invite me in for cookies or anything. And he kind of laughed or whatever. And then he paid his bill. Now, why do you think he paid his bill after like 6 months of not paying? Like, I didn't need to call the state bar. I didn't need to do any of this, leaving him bad reviews and trying to hurt his business. I didn't need to do any of that. I just had to show up. So that's the way it is with accountants too. I had one accountant that was a friend, and he just did me dirty, man. He just did me. He did not take care of me at all. He was a forensic accountant, and he was a friend from church, and he kept, doing my taxes and my quarterlies, but he didn't look at anything. His job was to work for huge companies and do forensic accounting. And so this is what I'm saying. You don't hire your friend, hire somebody. And we're not talking about bookkeeping here. We're talking about taxes, to actually file your taxes for you. Your bookkeeping, you should be doing yourself. When you start making $10,000 a month, hire a bookkeeper. $200 or $300 a month. Like Dawn was saying, she knows somebody. That's fine. They're just kind of doing grunt work for you, but your accountant needs to be held accountable, and you should be able to drive to their office. He just says, because he didn't want you to come back around. It's true. It's true. You teach people how to treat you, right? Now, I didn't mention anything about him owing me money to his wife, right? But I could have. And if I came back around, I might have. And I'm sure he thought about that probably. Let's see here. You skipped his new address and you found him. Yeah. Well, I mean, I always went to his office. I saw him personally in his office, but and a lot of attorneys wouldn't pay, It was like a constant thing. So accepting payments up front is really good because you showed up and let him know you weren't letting it go. Yeah, and it's important too to not feel bad about being that way. Like, it's important, like, you're a business owner and you're not emotional about it, but it is your money. It is your business. And if you have to show up and say, hey, and I've had situations where servers were, I wasn't getting paid from the client. So it was like taking everything I had to pay servers. And sometimes I'd tell servers, hey man, I got to wait on this payment. Hey, I need a couple weeks to catch up with you or whatever. Sometimes business gets tough like that, and that's okay. The key is to communicate. If you don't communicate with your people, then how do they know any different? How do they know that there's something going on with you? Like, I think most people, if you communicate with them, they're pretty reasonable. Most people. You get situations, the hardest situations sometimes are the ones where you have a server that doesn't do the job, and you're like, dude, I gave you these jobs and you came back and you didn't give me status, and you didn't do them, but then they still want to be paid. I had one guy that did that, and I still owe him $800. $800 is nothing. I could pay $800 easily. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying, like, it's not about the money. It's about the communication and the person just completely ghosting me, making me look so bad to my client. And if anybody does that, it's so this goes, and this is the last thing, and I'll wrap it up here. is your reputation. So your servers should be an extension of you. Yes, they own their own business, but when you're hiring servers, they need to be an extension of you when they're serving your paper. And it's important that you pay them on time. And I say with the way things are now, you can look up QuickBooks will let you pay people as well. But what I recommend instead is a company called Wise. Yes, Wise, WISE. The reason why is because you can pay your people in the Philippines, which you're going to eventually hire. I'll teach you guys how to do that. Because they can handle your sales calls, they can answer the phone for you. You can teach them to do pretty much anything. They speak English, like it's great. But also because you can pay servers immediately via Wise, just like you can with Zelle and different things like that. But the cool thing with Wise is you kind of keep it all in one place. And so I just recommend paying servers up front right away, either on their website or via Wise. A lot of people want to hold back payment to see if they're going to serve it or not. And that's what I used to do too. But I don't recommend that. I recommend pay them up front, pay them whatever it is that they wanted to get paid. See how well they do when you're going on their terms. And if they do great, then you keep using them. It's kind of like a waitress. You know what I mean? Like you give her a tip after she gives you good service. But what if you gave her a good tip up front? Be like, hey, I don't know how much we're going to spend today. But I really want the best service possible. Can I just give you $100 tip? Oh my gosh, you don't have to do that. Oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, all right. Well, that's what you're getting. So we'll see how the service is, huh? What are the chances of her giving you terrible service? 0, because she knows she's getting that tip. You don't have to overpay servers. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying set the expectation that you're not cheap and that you're going to pay your bill, right? And that you can't always do that when you start out, especially with your bulk clients that are sending you like net 30. Pete says, let me see here. Pete says, my Wisely card is great for getting your payments ASAP and minimal fees. Yeah, my Wisely. I haven't heard of that, but that sounds like a good one. Yeah, there's Wise account. It's called Wise. But yeah, you can check out my Wisely, whatever it is, but like just making sure that your communication is up and you have it go in the way that it needs to go. So last thing that I was going to say was your attorneys. If for some reason you serve for somebody, and this is what I'm going to go over tomorrow, we're going to talk about refunds, okay? Because refunds from clients can be for a lot of different reasons. And so we're going to talk about it tomorrow. And I'm going to show you guys how to make sure you never get a chargeback on your card. And if you do get a chargeback, you'll win the case every single time. And I've had this happen to me twice, maybe 3 times. I know for sure it's happened twice, but the third time I think they might have changed their mind before I had to contest it. But what happened, we're going to go into it tomorrow. But again, this is about the expectation you've set with the client and being a professional business owner and setting yourself apart from the competition. And if somebody request a refund, your first question should be, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? And it is your fault. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. So don't miss that. Don't miss that. Don't miss it. So it's not always your fault that they said the refund. You have to take personal responsibility. I'm going to talk to you guys tomorrow about how to make sure that that's not something that ever sticks and you guys can keep more of what you make. So, and keep clients, right? So tomorrow I will have my QuickBooks all set up and we'll talk about that a little bit, but also keep in mind each and every day you guys need to be making your phone calls. You know, part of the Mighty Process Server challenge is that we're going to build this company to be, you know, a company that makes at least $10,000 a month by day 90. Okay. And we're going to have a lot more videos where I'm out in the field and I've edited the video. I've actually recorded a lot of footage of me out there serving. I just haven't edited and posted it yet. But inside of the platform, mightymeetup.com, you can join mightymeetup.com and actually you're going to start to see those resources and stuff. And mightymeetup.com is free. Okay. The whole purpose of me doing this challenge, for those of you guys that are new or the fair weather viewers, I'm doing this because I want to help. I really genuinely, in my mind, I've envisioned this, that I'm going to help however many, 100, 200 process servers get to $10,000 a month. Once you get there, you have expendable income to pay for ads, to pay for marketing, to pay for things to grow your business to as high as you want. Okay. But my goal and my vision is that you guys will make enough money we're talking about $30,000-$40,000 a month, where you can invest in real estate and get the depreciation. Right now, I'm investing in real estate. It's what I do all day. If you watch me on social media, I'm always talking to sellers. I'm talking to my JV partners, other real estate investors, and we're investing in real estate. And you can go out there and hustle and make this $10,000 a month we're talking about. Or like our hater guy was talking about like 120,000 or whatever from one big client. Sure, yes, go get all the clients. But here's the thing. You can invest in real estate. Like I just bought a 160 unit deal in Arizona with my partners, with some of my real estate partners. And that thing, millions of dollars. And that thing is going to produce a lot of income for me. It's going to bring me a lot of income. Just to give you an example, if you put in $100,000 into a deal like that, in 5 years, you can get a buyout, which is your return, which could be up to 250,000. So if you put in 100 grand, you get a 2.5 times return. You have to be an accredited investor to do that. And so in order to be an accredited investor, you can look it up, but you need to make some money. You need to make some do-re-mi, right? You need to make $250,000 a year or have at least $1 million in net equity. And so my goal is to get you there so that you can invest with me and my team and you can become rich, right? I want you guys to be rich. And the only way to become rich, you don't have to be a millionaire to be rich, you guys. You can, I mean, it's not that, yes, inflation and yes, all this stuff, but you don't have to be a millionaire to live a rich life. I mean, $175,000 a year, you're sitting pretty good. You know, $300,000-$400,000 a year. Now you're going on vacations that other people are looking at going, what the hell are you doing? Like, where'd you get a yacht? Well, I rented it. How much was that? $7,000 for the weekend. Normal people don't do that. Okay, you can do that, but you got to build that. You got to put the effort in to actually do that, right? So that's what I'm enjoying. That's the life that I'm living. I hustle, I work, I love to work, I love to build new companies, and this is my way of giving back to an industry that helped me get started. My process serving company was my first business that made me over $100,000 a year, right? It was like consistently every year. There was one year we got up over 300, almost 400,000, but even during the low times, it was over 100 grand a year. And so I know you can do it, and I know this company is going to do it. Albuquerque Process Servers. So thank you guys so much. Take care. Go out there, live mighty, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Don't miss the refund. Don't miss the refunds episode. Listen, day 23 of 90, and we're crushing it. We're going to keep growing. Thanks, guys. Take care. And make sure you get out to the gym. Get to the gym. See you guys. Be safe.
For more great content like this and your chance to win cash prizes each week live online, visit www.mightymikereed.com. That's www.mightymikereed.com. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite audio platform. Until next time, take care and live mighty.